Well, I got the board all Tapcon to the wall here. Everything's super solid. So last thing to do is just slide this thing on. Hey guys, welcome back to Skyline Acres. I appreciate y'all being here. If you like this kind of stuff, go out there and hit that subscribe button. As you can tell, I'm in my workshop today, and I've got a little project that I'm gonna do today that I kind of wanted to bring y'all with me on, and we'll see how it goes. As you can see, my workshop is basically a basement garage, and I do a lot of work out here. And because of that, I have electrical outlet here, and I'm always having an extension cord down here that I use out here. As we swivel back around here, I've got all kind of extension cords going from here to different tools as I'm using them and that kind of thing. So today's project is going to be installing a VEVOR retractable extension cord reel. Model DL-620, 65 feet. I think they make this one in 45 foot and 65 foot, and it's 12 gauge. One of the deals was I never know what I'm going to be running out here. So I wanted it to be long, number one, and number two, I wanted a 12 gauge cord. And I think that's the reason I've never even looked into these things, because I just falsely assumed you couldn't get an extension cord reel in a 12 gauge cord. I figured they'd be 14 or 16 gauge, which by the way, VEVOR has those too. While I'm opening it, I'll tell you, my goal is to mount this over there near that garage door and be able to use the cord mainly outside. And then like I said, if I end up liking this, then I will maybe get one more for inside the shop. With that said, you know, I can use this either way. I have several VEVOR products now. I've got a chicken plucker that has worked out really well, and I have these panel dollies. Let me show you those really quick. Right there. Those panel dollies are VEVOR. They've been really nice too. But with that said, you know, this is not sponsored. So anyways, you've got a bracket here. So I've watched a couple YouTube videos on this thing, so I kind of know what's going on with it without really reading the manual. But this bracket is kind of neat. And then you have some hardware, and you get wood screws, and you get actually expansion anchors for concrete. Go ahead and take the extension cord reel out here, and I'll show y'all what we got. Quick little rundown of the specs on this thing, because if you're like me, I just really haven't done a lot of research into extension cord reels. So with that said, this unit cost about $100. This is a 65 foot, 12 gauge. All right. I mean, look at that. That is your 12 gauge extension cord. I believe this kind of model, this design per se, you can get in 45 foot or 65 foot. So with that said, the 65 foot is going to be more than what I'm used to now, and it's going to get me out in the driveway very far. A couple other things to note on this unit. It has a 15 amp circuit breaker that you reset right here if that ends up resetting. You have a triple tap on your cord. Thought that was a nice touch. And it's clear and it's lighted. So when this is plugged up, this is lit right here to let you know it's got power. This unit is wall or ceiling mounted. So you can mount it to the wall like this. You can mount it to the ceiling like this. It has an adjustable stop on here. So if you mount it to the ceiling, you can pull this wire out long enough to where you can reach it to pull it out. The other thing that's nice is it's a swivel design. So you can mount this on the wall like this, and then this whole thing will swivel. It'll actually swivel basically against the wall. The other nice touch is this bracket. You can, on this bracket here, let's cut this open, but this bracket has holes in it. You could mount it straight to the wall just like that. But what they do is you've got this bracket right here. So you just walk up to your wall, mark your holes, drill your holes, and mount this bracket. Then this whole entire unit slides into here like that. So you're not holding all this weight trying to mark holes and everything. Then if you ever want to take it off for whatever reason, you just lift it off the bracket. The other thing I felt worth mentioning was it has a 4.5 foot lead-in cord. That seemed to be more than most that I found. So that's really nice. I mean, you don't have to put it right up against an outlet. So what I'm gonna do is mount the bracket onto a board so I can then mount that to the wall, and if I get another reel in the future or whatever, I'll have some options to mount it because it probably won't use the same exact holes. I took his bracket up to Ace Hardware, matched up with basically the biggest lag screw I could find and a 5/16 lag screw. The washer still goes on and doesn't interfere with the sidewall there. So 5/16 by 1.5 inches, so it doesn't stick out the back of this board here. I've actually had good luck doing this before. I put a little hot glue, I level it, and then I put a little hot glue on everything to hold it. You kind of get more of an accurate hole than you do if you mark the holes. Like I've used a little tiny paintbrush and put a little dab of paint behind, took this off and then drilled the holes. I've actually found this works a little bit better. So I kind of prefer to put my tap cons in by hand, just so you don't, I don't know, I just feel like I have better feel and, you know, don't feel like I'm going to strip them out or anything. Well, I got the board all Tapcon to the wall here. Everything's super solid. So last thing to do is just slide this thing on. You want to be careful not to mount your board too high to the wall to where you don't have enough room to get this thing slid in there. Because you kind of need to be all the way up above it and then slide it down on it. But that's all you do. Right there it is. We'll go flat to the wall there. There you go. I wanted to show you. So I'm all the way out here in my driveway. Got my chicken coop here that's done, just needs to be put in place. I've got a truck here that I could easily hook a battery charger to or anything like that. And then I'm still going. Still going. If I wanted to hook a battery charger or do something to my tractor or whatever all the way out here, I mean, that is a long way. Since I have to round a corner here, I think bringing it in a little bit like this will just help make it easier to roll up. Doesn't take but a second. And then let's see how it does here. I am going to make two changes though. I'm gonna make this a whole lot shorter, and I'm gonna zip tie this up. So I'll give y'all a real world example of me using it in the shop, which I'm also gonna do. So we'll just pull it down. Pull it over here to the table saw or whatever. Right there it is. Want to roll it back up, pull it up. Works just like an air hose reel. Right there you go. So I tell y'all what, I got everything installed here. I've got this adjusted how I want it. It's right there, I can easily grab it, but it's high enough that if this mobile bench wasn't here, I could walk under it. And I got this zip tied up and it freely moves in all directions. So we're good to go. It's the small things. So there's been an extension cord plugged in here, just raveled up on the floor for years because I use it so often out in the driveway or here in the workshop. So this is going to be so nice not having that on the floor to trip over and, you know, whatever else, step on, all that. So I'm really liking it. Now obviously this isn't a long-term review, but I mean, I really like it. If I had to nitpick it, the only thing that would be nice is having a 90-degree flat face connector here. So this didn't come out and then in. I'm sure none of them have that, but it would be a nice little upgrade. So that's gonna do it for this video. I am super glad to have this installed. It's gonna be a huge convenience in the workshop here. But with that said, I'll put a link to it in the description if you guys want to check it out. And if you guys like this kind of content, go out there and subscribe to our channel because we'd love to have you back. And on that note, we'll catch you on the next video.